Hello there. You have been communicating your entire life, talking to friends, texting family, sending emails, even nodding your head. But have you ever stopped to think about what communication really means and how it works? In this video, we will break down the meaning, elements, types, and importance of communication exactly the way you need it for UGC NET Paper 1. By the end, you will understand why communication fails and how to make it work. Let us start with the meaning. First, what is communication? The word communication comes from the Latin word communicare, which means to share or to make common. In simple terms, communication is the process of exchanging information, ideas, feelings, or thoughts between two or more people. The goal is to create shared understanding. If I say something and you understand what I meant, communication has happened. If you hear my words but understand something else, communication has failed. It is not about how loudly I speak or how many words I use. It is about whether the meaning reaches you. For UGC NET, remember this definition. Communication is the transfer of meaning from one person to another through a channel. Second, the elements of communication. Every act of communication has 7 basic elements. Let me list them one by one. Number 1, the sender. The sender is the person who starts the communication. The sender has an idea or a message that they want to share. Number 2, the message. The message is the information, idea, or feeling that the sender wants to convey. It could be words, gestures, images, or even silence. Number 3, the encoding. Encoding is the process of converting the message into symbols that can be transmitted. When you speak, you turn your thoughts into words. When you write, you turn them into letters. That is encoding. Number 4, the channel. The channel is the medium through which the message travels. It could be sound waves for spoken words, light waves for written text, or electronic signals for a phone call or email. Number 5, the receiver. The receiver is the person for whom the message is intended. The receiver must decode the message, which means convert the symbols back into meaning. Number 6, the decoding. Decoding is the opposite of encoding. The receiver interprets the symbols and tries to understand what the sender meant. If decoding matches encoding, communication succeeds. Number 7, the feedback. Feedback is the response from the receiver back to the sender. It tells the sender whether the message was understood. Feedback can be verbal, like, I understand, or nonverbal, like a nod or a confused look. These 7 elements are always present in any communication. If any one of them fails, communication fails. Third, the types of communication. Communication can be divided into 2 broad categories, verbal and nonverbal. Verbal communication uses words. It has 2 forms. Oral communication uses spoken words. Conversations, speeches, phone calls, lectures, and meetings are oral communication. Written communication uses written symbols. Letters, emails, reports, text messages, and books are written communication. Non-verbal communication does not use words. It uses body language, facial expressions, gestures, eye contact, posture, touch, and even silence. Non-verbal communication often conveys more meaning than words. When someone says, I am fine, but looks down and avoids eye contact, the non-verbal message says the opposite. There are also other types of communication you need to know. Intrapersonal communication is communication with yourself. Thinking, reflecting, and self-talk are intrapersonal. Interpersonal communication is between 2 people. Group communication involves 3 or more people. Mass communication reaches a large audience through media like television, newspapers, or social media. For UGC NET, you should also know formal and informal communication. Formal communication follows official channels and rules, like a boss giving instructions to an employee. Informal communication happens casually, like friends chatting during a break. The grapevine is a famous example of informal communication in organizations. Fourth, the importance of communication. Why does communication matter so much? Let me give you 3 reasons. First, communication helps us survive. From the moment we are born, we cry to signal hunger or pain. Without communication, we cannot get our needs met. Second, communication builds relationships. Every friendship, every family bond, every romantic relationship depends on communication. When communication stops, relationships weaken. When communication improves, relationships grow. Third, communication is essential for work and society. Teachers cannot teach without communication. Leaders cannot lead. Doctors cannot diagnose. Engineers cannot collaborate. In fact, most problems at work are not technical problems. They are communication problems. Someone misunderstood an email. Someone did not listen carefully. Someone gave unclear instructions. For a UGC NET aspirant, understanding communication helps you in the exam and in your future career as a teacher or researcher. You will need to communicate with students, colleagues, and the public. Fifth, why communication fails. Communication seems simple, but it often fails. Here are the most common reasons. 1, unclear message. If the sender does not know what they want to say, the receiver will not understand. 2, wrong channel. A serious conversation should not happen over text message. An urgent message should not be sent through a slow channel. 3, noise. Noise is anything that distorts the message. It could be actual sound, like traffic or loud music. It could also be psychological noise, like stress, anger, or distraction. 4, assumptions. The sender assumes the receiver knows certain things. The receiver assumes the sender means something else. Assumptions kill communication. 5, emotional barriers. Anger, fear, or defensiveness can block understanding. When emotions are high, listening drops. In the next video, we will explore these barriers in detail and learn how to overcome them. Before you go, here is a question. Which element of communication converts the message into symbols that can be transmitted? A, encoding. B, decoding. C, channel. D, feedback. The answer is in the description. Choose your option, let me know in the comments, and come back for the next class. Take care.